Hello and welcome to B's Battlegrounds. I'm Bobby B, and today we're looking at our first G.I. Joe classified series, Iron Grenadier. Now this is going to be the Cobra Metalhead, or Cobra's Metalhead, just because, copyright issues or whatever, licensing issues. So Metalhead here, if you guys remember from the, the Series 2 cartoon, the Deke cartoon, he's just a goofball. He's a pretty prominent character, if I remember correctly, but I barely remember that. I maybe watched it through once as an adult, and I was like, I can't stand this. But I just remember being a goofball. I watched JLS Comics does a phenomenal video recapping him. Cybernetic enhancements, all that jazz makes him awesome. He's a badass on paper, an anti-armor specialist that works for, Mars Industries, belongs to Destro's Iron Grenadiers. It sounds awesome. Then the cartoon, he was kind of goofy. I'm not too familiar with him in the comics, but we got him in classified. He looks phenomenal. I'll read the blurb from the classified website real quick. And it says, Metalhead is a walking anti-tank weapon serving Destro's Iron Grenadiers. He can launch high explosive missiles and visually guide them to their objectives. The real targeting computer is his brain, and it doesn't have an off switch. This guy is so wrapped up in his work that even when he sits down for dinner, he's locking on to the mashed potatoes. So obviously they keep that kind of quirkiness in that updated bio from Hasbro Pulse's website, but let's dive into the figure here. We get our deluxe packaging. It's our, 5th, 6th iteration of packaging for the G.I. Joe Classified series. Beautiful background. Some nice artwork. We get the Iron Grenadier stamp, which we haven't got with the Dreadnoughts, so I don't know what is going on with that. Cobra Metalhead. Well, I guess just Metalhead and Cobra's is faction, obviously. G.I. Joe Classified series. 118 in the line. There's all his attributes. There's the QR code that still doesn't go anywhere. It's been over a year. I did ask in one of the Q&As. They kind of gave me the generic, we're working on all our websites at the same time, which I feel like they've been saying for a while now. Here you get a solid shot of him right there. You got the bullet train with Naugahyde right there on the top of it, waving his hat. Probably yelling Yeehaw or something like that. I don't know. Is there an Australian version of Yeehaw? Like, do they say something along those lines? We got our cybernetic exosuit in the back, which we'll touch on, and we got the Destro logo. So, let's dive into it. So first, we're just going to get the regular stuff out of the way. We get the same weapons we saw with the Valkyries, we saw with the Snow Serpent. This undersized, laser AR rifle thing. Magazine drops out of it. Nothing to write home about. The red and black looks pretty phenomenal. We saw this with the Fire Team too, didn't we? I think so. We'll slide that out. We get our cartoon-specific blaster. Now, I wish every Cobra figure came with this, and I wish every Joe figure came with their version, regardless of what else they come with. And obviously, the magazine drops out of that. And a fun weapon. I think this one looks good, but I just feel like this one's undersized. We got our every Joe or Cobra has a knife. We get it here, silver blade, black tip, or silver blade, black handle. Nothing too fancy going on there. They are still on the rubbery side, but it holds it's like holding its shape, so it's not like staying warped like we've seen in the past. We get an alternate, Spartan helmet looking thing. Maybe with a samurai. I don't know. Little combination of all the above. It's like a grayish, bronzish metal. Yellow eyes. Got some silver in the back here. I wish this, center fin, the saw blade looking thing would have been silver. I think that would have been pretty fun. Is it? No. Or maybe some of these spikes would have been silver. I think that would have did pretty well. I know we saw in the past with the Python Vipers that the yellow didn't look as good, and it's not looking too great here. Just because it's on the plastic, but whereas the yellow and the red on this mullet hairpiece looks pretty good. We got his visor, we got some targeting on there. Looks pretty good. We'll touch into those when we get into the figure. Here we get his launcher exosuit backpack. The want for exosuits is a lot greater than I would have expected. I know in the Action Force groups they're always asking for it. Or at least there's one person that's pretty consistent, unless there's more than one, unless there's only one. But I see it brought up quite frequently. We saw it was big. 2014-ish with Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. And there's no other paint deco or anything on this. It's just kind of there. These hoses do come off, and trust me, they'll come off. There's like a third port there. So, arm's got a good bit of articulation there. They can pivot like that and go up and down. This piece right here can go like that, rotate around. So, there's a lot of different moving pieces, different angles you can have these things. It's up to you. We get 2 thigh pieces. They are identical. I haven't noticed if there's a left and right at all. There's 3 ports on the back. Then obviously the piece that clip to the thighs, and then the inside where your rockets should go, which we'll talk about also. So you get 6 blast effects, 2 of each of 3 different sizes. So you get 2 small, 2 medium, 2 large. You get 6 rockets. You get 4 of these smaller ones and 2 of these larger ones. And they're in this like hideous, like pale tan yellow instead of just being in yellow. I feel like that there was definitely an error there because I do not like the color of these in person. My camera is making them more yellow than they are. It's I'm not a fan of what they look like. It's kind of interesting that they let that happen. And then obviously you got them. They just peg into the blast effects, which would have been nice if they could have made these, like put the peg into these and then have them peg into this so we could use them for Bazooka's rockets, because we still don't have blast effects that are pretty good for his rockets, minus the scrap iron ones, and those ones are too large in my opinion. So we get plenty of those. Going in the figure himself, he's got his mullet here. Got a nice little teardrop tattoo under the left eye. It looks like it's going to be Firefly's torso under this vest. As for everything else, no idea. You guys are a lot better at that than me. Now, looking at this vest when they announced Saw Viper, I was like, oh, this got to be the Saw Viper vest. And then on the back, we got all kinds of like cybernetic, exoskeleton suit stuff. Different colors. We didn't get any on this, but we got them all on this when they're covered up, so I don't understand the choices on that. Going to the front, we got our Cold Slither sticker. We got 5 X's and 2 slashes, so is that 5 vehicles, 2 Joes? Does it... Because I guess if it would have been 1 Joe, would have made that an X instead of 2 slashes, so maybe he just doesn't know how to count tallies? I don't know. Got some mag pouches in the front. We got our knife sheath. Obviously, the knife just goes right into that. Some Molly design on there. Working our way down. I thought these were all going to be attached. It seems like they're a secondary, but I'm not really going to try to pull or mess with them. As you can see, my straps aren't even, so I'm curious what that is. So you can probably put any Joe as long as they fit in these thigh pieces. We got lighter gray knee pads, red laces on the boots. So let's change out these headpieces, huh? So similar to Shipwreck, we got the like the slices in the hair, the various pieces. The Spartan helmet thing does not have any pieces, so I'll throw that on there. Oh yeah, to finish what I was saying about the vest, I feel like this would be a good Saw Viper vest. Then it's got all this crazy stuff on the back, so maybe they'll have one of those like stabilizer guns that we saw with the Pursuit of Cobra Iron Grenadier or the Moneybags Destro. So maybe we'll see this again used with them, because I feel like it'd be perfect for them. Then we got our Warrior helmet. Taking that off. We got the look we all want. The visor. Hair flowing. Looking angry. Looks good. So let's get this suit on, huh? So 2 pegs. 2 holes. Peg in the backpack. Goes on easy. Nothing crazy going on there. I feel like I can't get him to stand straight. There it is, all attached. The hoses plug into the back there. They pop out real easy when you're trying to pose them, move them around, all that stuff. Going to the front. So these blast effects are a pain to get in. They are tight squeeze, but they fit. As far as the larger rockets, they don't fit. The fins are too large for all of the different spots. So I don't know why they designed it like that. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, you can put it in backwards. That doesn't make any sense. And they're like, oh, it's the wrong size. Nope. Not fitting that side. Not fitting in the back. The fins are just too large. It doesn't make sense. And then as for the little ones, they can fit, but they just sit. They don't exactly let's get that stuck in there. They don't like peg in like we saw with scrap iron stuff. So they kind of just drop down. Nothing. So super disappointing when it comes to that. As far as all the other blast effects, they all just kind of peg in. You can mix and match. Maybe. No. There you go. So just a lot of strange design choices. Almost, I don't want to say lazy, but like, they're like, oh, yep, good enough. And then left it there. I wish we would have been able to store the rockets in there like that. And I don't know why they gave us a rocket that doesn't even fit in there. So, that doesn't make sense to me at all. Then obviously you can mix and match the rockets on the different size effects. Maybe? Nope, you can't. I lied. So the big rocket, I mean, it can just because it fits all the way through. Not really. So very interesting. The design for the rockets, it's kind of lackluster, kind of missing out. One thing I do want to try real quick as I get this. Oh, that's probably stuck in there. Pop it off real quick. If you want to use scrap iron's blast effects, it pulls it down immediately, and it's a very, very tight squeeze. So kind of disappointing there, but there's our metalhead. We'll get up the Iron Grenadier leader, Destro. And we got our other Cobra anti-armor specialist, Scrap Iron. So, that's Metalhead. Did you guys pick them up, skip out on them? How do you guys feel about these goofy, non-universal blast effects? Especially that I can't keep the rockets in there. So if you just want to have them on your shelf without blast effects, he's just kind of... Either you got the rockets chilling, or he's going to have a bunch of just empty tubes. So, there he is. You guys will have to let me know how you're going to display him, because I'm kind of curious myself to what I'm going to do. Backpack seems to be a little bit back heavy, but if you spread his legs out a little bit, just kind of get him in that good pose. Some fists would have been great. Some some Cyclops flexing fists. You could tell I was watching X-Men earlier today, and for the blast. But that's all I got. Till next time, load up, grab your kits. See you on the battlegrounds.